Hello class 8 students, welcome everyone. So from this video we are going to start a new chapter from of your NCERT class 8 science book, that is chapter number 9, reproduction in animals. Okay, so let's begin from the introductory part, but first of all let's understand the meaning of the term reproduction. Okay, reproduction, what do you mean by reproduction? Okay, see, there are many living organisms on this earth, right? So all the living organisms grow old with time. All the living organisms grow old with time, and ultimately what happens? They die. That means every living organisms remains alive on this earth for a limited period of time, and then they die. So new organisms have to be produced in place of those who die. So this production of new organisms from the existing organisms of the same species is known as reproduction. Okay, many living organisms, every living organisms, okay, every living organisms remains alive on this earth for a limited period of time, right? And then what happens? They will die. So if they die, then new living organisms have to be produced, right? New living organisms have to be produced in place of those who die. Okay, so the production of new organisms from the existing organisms of the same kind of species is known as reproduction. That means reproduction is the creation of new living things from the existing living things. Are you getting it? And one of the most important characteristics of living organisms is their ability to reproduce more members of their species. It is their ability to reproduce more members of their species. This is the important characteristics of reproduction. Okay, reproduction is it is essential for the survival of a species on this earth. So living organisms produce more organisms of their kind to maintain the life of their species on this earth. Are you getting it? Let's see what is given in your book, introductory part. Do you recall the process of digestion, circulation and respiration which you have studied in your previous classes? Yes, you have studied, right? The process of digestion, the process of circulation, the process of respiration. Okay, so these processes are essential for the survival of every individual. Okay, every individual requires the process of digestion, the process of circulation and the process of respiration. Okay, every living organisms require the process of digestion, the process of circulation and the process of respiration so as to survive. Okay, these processes are essential for the survival of every individual. Next, you may have also learnt about the process of reproduction in plants in class 7. In class 7 you have studied the process of reproduction in plants, right? Why is reproduction essential? Reproduction is essential because it ensures for the continuation, basically it is essential for the continuation of a particular kind of species. Okay, it is essential for the continuation of a particular kind of species. Okay, and reproduction ensures the continuity of life on the earth. Reproduction ensures the continuity of life on the earth. Okay, for example, let us take an example. Say human beings. Okay, human beings reproduce by giving birth to babies, right? Say sons and daughters. So these babies then they grow with time, right? They grow with time, and at the end what happens? First of all, they will become adult, right? They will become adult. Yes. Human beings reproduces by giving birth to babies, either say sons or daughters. Okay, so these babies then grow with time and ultimately they become adults. So when the old parents die, their sons and daughters keep living on this earth. Okay, so these sons and daughters again they will reproduce. Each of them they will reproduce by giving birth to more babies. And this process will go on and on. Are you getting it? So the process of reproduction by human beings ensures that human species will continue to exist on this earth for all the time to come. Okay. Similarly, cats. Take the example of cats also. Cats also reproduce by giving birth to kittens, right? Cats reproduce by giving birth to kittens. Okay. So that their species, the species of cat, may live forever. Okay, cats reproduce by giving birth to kittens, so that their species will live forever. Okay, dogs reproduce by giving birth to puppies, so that their species may continue to live on the earth. Okay, so it is clear that for a species of an animal to continue living on this earth, it must reproduce itself. It must reproduce itself. Okay? And reproduction gives rise to more organisms with the same basic characteristics as their parents. For example, human beings always produce human babies. Okay? Cats always produce kittens. Then, say, hens always produce chicks. Are you getting it? Imagine what would have happened if organisms had not reproduced. What would have happened if organisms would not, had not reproduced? Okay. See, if some species of the living organisms cannot reproduce, okay, then the organisms of that species will gradually die out, and they disappear from this earth one day. That means they will become extinct. Are you getting it? So this is the importance of reproduction, to continue the species of life on the particular kind of a species of life on the earth. Okay. You will realize that reproduction is very important, as it ensures the continuation of similar kinds of individuals generation after generation. You have already learned in your previous class about reproduction in plants. In this chapter, we shall learn how reproduction takes place in animals. Clear? Okay. Next, we'll come to modes of reproduction. Okay. So, have you seen the young ones of different animals? Try to name some of the young ones by completing table 9.1 shown in examples at serial number 1 and 5. Okay. See, in table 9.1, what is given to you? Serial number 1, that is animal name is human, and the young one of human is baby. Second one, animal name is cat, and the young one of cat is what? Kittens. Okay. Third one is dog, and the young one of dog is puppy. Puppy. Okay. Fourth one is butterfly, and the young one of butterfly is what? Caterpillar. Okay. You know this? Caterpillar. Next, hen. The young one of hen is chick. The young one of cow is calf. Okay. The young one of frog is tadpole. Okay. So these are the young ones of the animals given in table 9.1. You must have seen the young ones of various animals being born. Can you tell how chicks and caterpillars are born? How are kittens and puppies born? Do you think that these young ones looked the same before they were born as they do now? Let us find it out. Okay, we'll answer the questions of these in the upcoming sections. Clear? Okay. So just as in plants, there were two modes of reproduction. Okay, sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. We have learned, right, the modes of reproduction in plants in class 7. Okay, there was a separate chapter only, that is reproduction in plants. So we've learned in that there are two modes of reproduction: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Okay, similarly, there are two modes of reproduction for animals as well. These are what? Again, sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Clear? Okay. So first of all, our next topic will be about sexual reproduction, and this will continue in the next day, in the next video. Are you getting it? We'll continue in the next video from this sexual reproduction topic. But then also I will give you the definition of sexual reproduction, which we have also got in class 7, that the production of a new organism from two parents. See, in sexual reproduction, it involves two parents. One is male and the other is female. Okay, male and female. Two parents are involved in sexual reproduction. Okay, and from each of the parents, what is used? Sex cells are used. Their sex cells are used, or say reproductive cells. Reproductive cells. Reproductive cells, or say sex cells, or even gametes. 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 Okay. From each of the parent, what is used? Their sex cells is used, or say their reproductive cells are used, or say their gametes are used. Okay. The production of a new organism. Okay. The production of a new organism from two parents by making use of their sex cells or gametes is called sexual reproduction. Okay, so this is the definition of sexual reproduction, and we'll continue the topic and the chapter in the next day. So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.